So apparently this is an island. It's supposed to be, I don't know how we got here, but we end up at some island in the middle of, it's called the Susquehanna River or something. I'm gonna go to some random places today and try to figure out what we're gonna talk about. But, so it's called the Susquehanna River. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right or wrong, but there's a river right here. There's a little bridge. Apparently, it looks like people will walk on it. It's not meant for cars or anything. But if you, I believe that's the city of Harrisburg. That's the capital of Pennsylvania, or PA, whatever you want to call it. And the water is actually flowing into that direction. So let's head out. Let's try to go somewhere else. See you guys in a little bit. It's like, the reason why I don't like coming to the big malls, first and foremost, it's too crowded. And it's hard to find the store that you're looking for. I don't know, we're just walking around the mall. So I had to have my green tea. It was getting pretty warm in here. I mean, it was warm inside of the Starbucks, which happens to be right over there. According to some people, this is the largest mall in the United States. While some people claim the fact that it's the Mall of America, which happens to be the largest mall. But this mall is pretty huge. In case you guys are wondering what am I doing in Mac store, don't ask. I had no choice. I was kind of forced to come here. They do have a ring light. I wanted to try it out, but I'm afraid they might kick me out of the mall if anything. How dangerous it is. So you're saying this one you cannot buy?
Yes.
This one you do have, or?
Yes, we do. It's 6 million scones. $24.95. Oh, and I can actually tell you something from experience. A guy paid me $50 and I snorted that.
50 bucks? Mm-hmm. How much came when you?
I do want to show you guys what I carry on my backpack when it comes to vlogging. Or we get back to the studio, we'll talk about it, and I'll show you how much is this bag worth. And why do I say it's worth $4,000? Because that's all my vlogging material. That's all my vlogging equipment, my laptop, you name it, it's in there. What's going on, YouTube? I hope you guys are doing okay. So we just got back from the mall and I wanted to talk about this baby right here. This is my, remember I was telling you it's about $4,000 worth of stuff in here. And you guys are probably wondering, $4,000 worth of stuff. What could possibly be in this bag? I have everything from laptop, lenses, cameras. Well, I have a gimbal. I'll show you that in a minute. So let's get started. So what's important to have in your vlogging bag? First and foremost, you need some sort of a camera. I mean, last time I made that video and I said that, you know, you have to have a G7X, you actually don't. You could use your cell phone if you want. But, you know, if you want to upgrade your game, then you go for a G7X or a DSLR like I'm using at the moment, which is the Canon 80D. Lens. This, which I talked about it before, this happens to be 18 to 135 millimeter lens, which I don't use it as much because it's pretty heavy, but the thing about it is it does come handy if you want to get far out shots. For vlogging, I mean, it works, it does the job, but usually I use the wide angle lens for vlogging if I want to show the audience, you know, so kind of the surroundings and everything, what I'm walking through or not. Now here's something I brought, which cost me $125. They call this a 50 nifty or 50 millimeter lens. Well, the nickname for it is 50 nifty. The thing about this lens, let me tell you, if you want to get portrait, some really decent shots, I mean, they are just amazing, is a f-stop of 1.8. That means you could get the background really blurred out. It only costs you $125. It's not really that expensive, so you should definitely go for this if you want to get some portraits or, you know, get really close-up shots. It does have an STM motor, no stabilization, which kind of sucks, but hey, it's okay. But it does have auto and manual focus, which comes in handy to some degree. And you know, it does a great job. Here are some examples, by the way. You know, this is a shot that I've taken of a plant, and you can see the background just completely smoothly buttered but blurred out. There's another shot that I've taken which I made tea in the morning, which we call it chai where I'm from. I was making that, and you know, I just decided to pick up the camera and use this lens and try to get some shots in. It's $125, you can't go wrong with that. If you guys want to see some of these pictures, I have them on my Instagram, which happens to be CrazyAli410. My second favorite camera, or I should say, this is where I started. It's something I would highly recommend. And the reason why I recommend this on top of the DSLR if you're carrying it around, because this is small. This is the Canon G7X. Highly recommend it. You might want to get a cover for it. I got it because it does have a problem with dusting in the lens. So I usually just keep it in this cover. And you know, the cover does have a little strap for your belt in case if you're traveling or something, you just want to put it up on your belt on the side. So you know, you could have easy access to it in case you ever need it. And plus, like I said, if you go to like big concerts or something like that, or perhaps some sort of an event, they don't want to see big cameras like the DSLRs. It's not that flashy, you know. It's a really tiny point to shoot. Nobody would even care. But anyways, oh yeah, and the screen does flip out, so which is a good thing. Most of the products that I do use is Canon. I just like their video quality. It's much better in my opinion compared to Nikon. The other thing that you really need, and I highly recommend it, if you want to make your own sound effects, and if you want to, say you're in an environment that you really want to pick up the background sound, like the cars moving around or the birds humming or whatever the case might be, or you just want to interview somebody, this is what I recommend. This happens to be the Zoom H1. It's a recorder which it has two mics, and you know, you could set your volume setup and everything. But what it does is it does an amazing job. It does have a mic input and also has a headphone jack, so in case if you want to listen to the sound and everything else, if it's too loud or not, you could always adjust it. But this is an amazing thing to have. It does an amazing job when it comes to recording. It does take a AA battery, which does run out pretty fast. But I highly recommend this. I mean, this can help dramatically when it comes to getting the sounds. Like sometimes you just want to, you don't have to download the sounds. Like say if you're shooting something on a water and you want to get that sound of water coming down or the stream or whatever the case might be, you just have to turn this on and put it nearby it. It'll get that sound that you need to put it in your video afterwards in post. So I highly recommend this. This is about, let's just say, give and take about $80-$90 if I'm not wrong. I just don't remember how much I paid for it, but I highly recommend this. And of course, gotta have your batteries. I usually keep the Ziploc bag. I mean, just because, you know, if it gets wet or something, I don't mess up my batteries. I have batteries. I have about I have two batteries for my Canon G7X, two for the Canon 80D, which I'm shooting on right now. This battery right here, the little long one, I'm gonna show you something really cool, which has been out for a while, but still. I have a battery for a GoPro. I have a silver GoPro. That's for my helmet when I do moto vlogs, when I'm riding a motorcycle. I got the mic running. Unfortunately, I don't have my helmet on me at the moment because I didn't ride my bike here. You should always keep spare batteries. They always come in handy. And you know, put them in a little cheap Ziploc bag. No water gets in there. Here's the other thing you need in your bag or your vlogging setup, so-called, if you're traveling especially. This is more for traveling because this is a power bank. When I say power bank, this thing will last you 2 days. 2 days. It has 3 plugins, which you can plug in 3 different phones, and also has a quick charger, which happens to be this plugin right here on the right with the green. It's by ANKER, which is right here. You go to their website. Amazing products, amazing customer service too. One time I brought one of these and I broke it. Well, no, I didn't break it. It just kind of went bad. It happens. You know, there are devices. Things can go wrong. So I called them. I called the customer service. They sent me a brand new one, or hopefully it was brand new, and within like a few days. Of course, gotta have your case. You need one of these, which happens to hold your SD cards. Highly recommend it. I mean, you could go to Best Buy, probably get it for like 20-30 bucks. It's great. I mean, you don't lose your stuff, and you don't lose, you don't want to be losing your SD cards, because that's something that you cannot recover. Because if you have footage on there, this is gone. I mean, somebody else has it, if anything. But oh well, but I highly recommend getting one of these cases which you could hold your SD cards in. Now this next, it's called My Passport. It's a hard drive. If I'm not wrong, I believe this is the one which has 2 terabytes. Why do you need this? Now I got this. It's called My Passport Wireless Pro. So the best thing about it is, say you're doing a video and your SD card ran out or whatever, right? You take your SD card, you plug it into the side here. Make sure this thing, by the way, this thing also acts as a power bank if you need it to. So what you do is you plug it in here, put the SD card in. So what happens is it automatically takes all the data off your SD cards and transfers it into the hard drive. So later on, if you need it or not, or you need to empty out your SD card because you're on a run, you don't have enough room to work with, or whatever the case might be. But always keep at least 2 to 3 SD cards with you, just in case if you ever need them. Most likely you will. I mean, these are the 4 SD cards I have, 3 SD cards I have in here, but I have 2 cameras which already have SD cards in it. Let's talk about tripods. I have this JOBY, GoPRro pod, whatever you want to call it. People have different names for them. It's great. It's great for this camera, which I have it on the ring light at the moment. Put your DSLR, it'll do its job. I mean, it's pretty stable. It doesn't fall. I heard they get old and you have a problem with, them just kind of falling over or whatever the case might be. It hasn't happened yet, so let's hope it doesn't. Now this is from Manfrotto. Now this tripod I have here. Now this tripod is simple. I like to put I have used it for my DSLR, but I like to put the G7X on it. It's an easy grip. It goes into your side pocket. Now you have 2 pockets, one right here and one this. I don't know. I think it's called a watch pocket if I'm not wrong. Look at that. You put your camera on it. Just walk around, do whatever you got to do. When you need it, ready to vlog, use it. I use it for the G7X because it is a small tripod. All right, I just got this about a week ago. Now this thing has been out for quite a while. The reason I wanted to get it because I've recently tried to make some videos which were a bit shaky. So I brought this thing. It's by DJI. What this is, now I've been told it does 100 frames per second for slow motion, but it does crop the image like crazy. Look at this thing. It's so robotic looking. Let me see if I could quickly turn it on. Gotta put the battery in there. This is the battery. Let's see if it works. There we go. Now it's working. It's a gimbal. It has, if you can see, it has a little joystick right here. It's just to move the gimbal around, try to get some cinematic shots and everything. Now let me show you something. So once, like say if it's facing me, right? So if I wanted to go back and center, it has a little trigger mechanism, which is right here. So what you do is you press it twice. 1, 2. It goes back to where it needs to be, facing the opposite direction. So now if I hold it, so what'll happen is the gimbal will stay in its position no matter what I do. I mean, even right now, so if I turn it without my finger on the trigger, see the gimbal is not like, it is trying to move, but it's doing it very smoothly, which produces a very good shot. But if I hold on to the trigger and turn it, notice the gimbal just does not turn. If I go right, it'll stay to the same position while I'm holding on to the trigger. Now if I let the trigger go, again, it'll turn, but it does a very smooth job. Now the other thing about it, it has a selfie mode. So what you do is you tap this 3 times, the trigger, 1, 2, 3, and it turns. Now it's in a selfie mode. It's I can't see myself because I don't have my phone connected at the moment, but like I said, it does a good job. Only downside to it is when you try to do a slow-mo, it has an option for it, which people have told me it's 100 frames per second, which is great for that. I think the ideal speed should be about 120, but what it does is it really crops that image. And so if you're making YouTube videos, you want to be able to edit your videos, if I'm not wrong. That's the whole point of making the video. You need a good laptop, in my opinion. I paid about, say, $1,300 for this laptop, close to. It's by Samsung. It's a notebook 7 spin. Hope you guys like my stickers. I had to put these on YouTube. Got the Maryland crabs and the United States flag, which is upside down. I don't know why. Or maybe, oh, it is, the laptop's upside down. There we go. YouTube, you know, just wanted to make it look good. I think one of the best laptops, it is touchscreen. And the best thing about it, so here's the laptop, it just flicked on. I'm not gonna break it. I can actually use this as a tablet if I want to. And, oh, you guys can see my ring light in there. But this laptop does an amazing job. It does have a Core i7. If you honestly ask me, I don't even know what that means, but it sounds just fancy. Energy savings or whatever the case might be. It does have a graphics card. The graphic card is important, and the reason why I would say that is because when you're running your Adobe Premiere or Adobe Elements, whatever you're using at the moment. I was using Elements. I just brought the Pro, by the way. The thing is, what it does is the graphic cards actually helps the program run while your computer has its own thing going on in the background. The graphic cards is great for that, so you can get your work done and, you know, you can process the video a lot faster and everything else. If you're trying to vlog and you're like, now this, all the setup that I have at the moment with the tripods and the DJI and the laptop, 2 phones, I'm looking at about $5,000. The things you do need, or you might not need it, but you know, if you're just starting up, all you need is a cell phone. You could do a vlog from that, edit it on your computer. You don't need a fancy computer or anything like that. That's how I started. I'm not saying that you have to have everything that it's in that backpack that I carry around with me. Anyways, guys, this is my vlogging setup. Hope you guys liked the video. If you guys have any questions about any of this equipment or how to get it, which one to get first, the lenses or whatsoever, comment below, let me know, and let me know how you do your vlogs. I mean, what do you guys use for your equipment? You know, maybe we could all learn from this. And anyway, so don't forget to like the video, subscribe, please. I need another 500 subscribers. So please share the video. And if you can, like it, comment. I'll see you guys on my next vlog.